What is this? Whoa. Huh? Same shirt as yesterday's video? It's not like I could have possibly filmed them on the same day, and not like that's what I'm gonna do, during the school year. So, a lot of people leave really nice comments on my videos, which are super great. I love them, thank you. But then, a lot of people leave things like, what a gifted and talented young lady, or you're such a beautiful woman, or hang in there, girly, or things of that nature. But then other people, some people who I even know offline are like, how do you feel about being called beautiful? Because that's a traditionally female-coded word, and how do you feel about pronouns? And we're just gonna have a conversation about the words that I want people to use for me, which is an incredibly conceited conversation, going on sort of a similar thing to what we talked about yesterday. It's very conceited, and my time should be spent on more important things, more important topics. But I think it's important to me, and it's my channel, so that's what we're gonna do. Let's talk about, nouns. I am agender. I am not a girl. I am not a woman. I am not a lady. I am not a girly. I am not a chick. I am not any synonym you can come up with for that. I'm not female either, and this is where it gets interesting, because a lot of people are like, oh sure, you may be agender, but you're female, right? No, because there's not really a difference between gender and sex. That's a weird thing that was used to help cis people understand binary trans people, but it didn't really work because it left us non-binary people in the dark, and it's inaccurate. There's the sex binary and the gender binary. Both of those are flawed constructs. And there are, sexual characteristics, but that's not sex. And there are sex organs, but that's not sex. Sex and gender are the same thing. I have neither. Now, to be fair, I am also not a boy, not a man, not a sir, or a ma'am. I didn't list that. So don't use those for me either. When it comes to internet terms, people like to say daddy or mom for their internet people. If I have to pick between those two parental titles, I will always pick dad. Preferably not daddy, but you can call me dad if you want. That's a little weird, but you can. You can use dude for me, because dude is becoming very much a gender-neutral term. If you're looking for an honorific, sir or ma'am, neither of those. You can call me Supreme Overlord if you want. Please don't, actually, that would be weird. Just don't use one. It's fine. I'm not a miss. Will never be a Mrs. I'm not a mister. I may become a doctor. We'll revisit this conversation at that point. It would not be a doctor of medicine, though. So if you're looking for that title, no, there's one in Australia which is MX, mix. I guess you could use that, or we could just not have a title. That'd be cool, right? I'm down with that. Pronouns. They, them, their, theirs, their self. Themself. This is very interesting, because, you have the plural they, which conjugates themselves. But the singular they, themself. Either's fine. I'm only one person. I kind of feel like I would use themself, but either is fine. Now on to, compliments, because I'm all about compliments. Literally give me any compliment. I don't care if it's coded feminine, masculine, whatever. I am in too much desperate need of attention and validation to complain about the compliments you give me. Really, genuinely. I don't mind being called pretty. I don't mind being called beautiful. I don't mind being called handsome. It's weird and it's hard to believe sometimes, but that's because everybody is filled with self-loathing in this society, and not because these words don't connect with me. Now we gotta talk about, like, the use of queen on the internet, okay? This is our final thing and then we'll be done, I promise. Because queen, historically, it's a female title, like the female counterpart to a king, sort of, usually with less power, less rights, the purpose of producing children only. But in today's society, queen is used by a lot of people, it was used by a lot of gay men, and so now a lot of people call guys queen, in much the same way that they call girls queen. In fact, even now it seems like they call girls princess instead of queen, just so that queen can be reserved for guys. I would never use it for myself, and I don't really care for it, but it doesn't really make me upset if you're coming from that place of using it, just like you would use it for Tyler Oakley or Kirsten Maldonado, or Mitch Grassi for that matter, you know, like any of them. If you're using it as a way to code me as something I am not, to force a gender I don't have upon me, then please don't do that. And that's that. Also, don't call me queer if you're not part of the LGBT community, because that is a slur. And it's the first identifier I will use when talking about myself, but don't use it if you're not part of the community. And we're going to talk about this more later, but that includes aces and errors. So, I hope you have a great day.